I'm in the last 2 weeks. My friend Mandy came over the weekend. She's a childhood friend. We met when we were 10. And we're still like, some people, they're in your life for so long, they're more like family than friends. And I'm really lucky that I have quite a few that I've picked up over the years that just feel like my family. So she definitely came in an apt time because I've been really struggling with homesickness. I feel like if I ever did this again, I would have to find a way, did something like this again, I would have to find a way to bring Clint and the cats, because I feel like I'm so distracted by missing them and home. And yeah, like I feel like I would get more done and be more focused if that wasn't a thing. But I mean, I'm doing my best. Sorry, this is really shaky. I'm doing my best, and I try to distract myself a lot. But when Clint was here, I just was like so focused and getting stuff done, and it just felt different. But in any event, I'm so glad Mandy came, because Mandy feels like home, and I was just really struggling with homesickness last week. This is how it was in Japan too. Like I would have good times in bed, like not good time. I would have moments where I was homesick and moments where I was just like really happy to be there. It's just like your heart's ripped in two. So I know this aspect of me, but Mandy came at like a great time. And it's just one of those things where I didn't know how much I needed a girls' weekend with Mandy until it was happening. We grew up together. We were really good friends in grade school and high school and even parts of college. But she moved to Boston in college and then moved to LA not too long after she graduated from college. So, and then she's an amazing mom to a young, I think he's 3 now, 3.5 maybe. And then with COVID and everything, like I haven't spent much time with just her, maybe in like a decade, because when she comes into town, she has a lot of people to see, her family's there, her friends are there. And of course we all love her and I want to share her. But, I felt so spoiled, like getting a whole weekend with her, just me. It's just like you take it for granted when you're a kid or when you're in high school and you just get to like hang out with your friends all the time and talk to them on the phone all the time. And it's such a luxury when you're an adult to get to see people that you care about and like, and spend quality time with them. And, so it was such a treat to just, it's just hard to explain. Like I can be like completely myself, like raw, no matter what it is. And we just like love each other. But so we did all these, and she was just like spoiling me too. She treated me to see Chicago, the Broadway, which was beautiful. And I loved how resourceful they were. I'd seen the movie, I hadn't seen the Broadway. Just the way they use, like how many people play many roles and how they utilize the stage in such clever ways and how they engaged the orchestra, and it was really good. And then she also insisted that she treat me to a spa, a Korean spa. She wanted to go, and I was trying to say like, you should go and I'll go do this thing. But it was really magical that we got to do it together. But we were just like, we decided this on the fly. So we didn't like bring any, change of clothes or change of undergarments or anything. So they gave us these temporary bathing suits that were like bizarre and hilarious. But even like, we very easily like strip down together and do weird things together. And cause we're just like family. So our favorite part was, Mandy got a massage, and much needed, and she loved that. And then I did this, I did all these, they had these like saunas and steam rooms, and I kind of like went around to all of them while Mandy was doing her massage. I think I liked the salt room the best. And we both there were these like arched bamboo things that you would put on your necks and you would just lay in the salt room. It was really relaxing. We both it was like 8:30 after that, and we were just so tired, I think, because we were just so relaxed. But so the Friday that Mandy got in on a Thursday night, I met her at JFK. And then the next morning we went to take a class with the Merce Cunningham Foundation, which was like a bucket list thing for me. It was amazing. It was interesting how it was like ballet, but like Merce would ask you to, like his technique asks you to kind of bend your body in really unexpected ways. It reminds me of like playing like a random note that isn't in like a major key or something. Like you kind of kink your body or do weird. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to like, cause they do those dance classes on Instagram, and I think I want to keep trying to take them. Cause I'm obsessed with Merce Cunningham and John Cage. And I feel like learning his dance technique, even though I'm not a very good dancer, but I feel like it would like really fuel me as a time-based artist. It just could be, I've been thinking about dancing as exercise for a long time and making myself like really bizarre dance costumes. But I was thinking about ballet, but now I'm thinking about just the Merce Cunningham technique, which is kind of like ballet, but in like a modern sense. So yeah, and so we had a blast, and Mandy's like, she majored in musical theater. She's so good at that stuff. And like, she was picking it up really fast. I was like, everybody in that room were like dancers, and I was like flailing around my tall limbs and stuff, but it was so awesome and so fun. And then we went to a field trip for the residency at a place called Urban Glass, and we got to tour that place. And then we ran some errands. We went to Blick, so they have these like rainbow neon pencils that I love. Like it's like a kaleidoscope pencil. And I accidentally left it in Clint's pencil bag with my favorite knife, and he got it taken away. He got the knife taken away at the airport, and then he tried to mail me back the pencil, and it got stuck in the machine at the post office. So I went back to Blick, and I bought like 6 of them. And then Mandy and I went to Whole Foods and just like ate a ton of food, like at their buffet. It was so funny because like Whole Foods has gluten-free cake, and it is like it's easy to find gluten-free cookies and stuff, but gluten-free cake is not as easy to find, and it's so good. And then we went, oh my gosh, this was one of my favorite things I've done in New York. My friend Yali from grad school is doing a residency in New York, and I don't quite understand it, but I think they like meet like once a week or once a month, and they like talk about their ideas and get feedback. That's the way I understand it, but I could have it wrong. But everybody in Yali's group did this like in progress performance night. It was so good. I feel like that's what I was like dreaming about when I dreamed about coming to New York, just like weird performance art everywhere. That's how it was like when I lived in Chicago, because they have a graduate performance art program at SAIC. And so a lot of performance artists congregate there, and they have like to get dedicated like performance art galleries in Chicago. And it was like my favorite thing about living there. And so when I came here, I was like, oh, I'm going to connect with all the weird performance artists, and I'm going to be seeing performance art all the time. And I just haven't found it. I'm sure it's here. I just haven't found it. And so, yeah, it was like perfect to just see and I loved because it was in progress. It just felt like informal and approachable. But all the performances were so good. I was thinking about them all night. And Yali is a genius. Like that performance like blew my mind. It was so good. So then Mandy and I were exhausted, and we went home and passed out. We probably got home like midnight or something, because it takes me an hour and a half to get anywhere. And then the next day we slept in super late, and then we went into town to go see this show at the Book Art Center. It was a show that was like about documentation and performance art as books and vice versa. It was kind of like a data art show. It was good. And I bought the catalog because it's really relevant to the stuff I teach in the performance class. This residency has been half like Lindsay learns things to be a better artist, and Lindsay learns things to be a better teacher, which of course those are both parts of me. So I love that. And then we found this place called Matcha Cha Cha, and it was like a matcha place, like matcha powder. And so we were both still really tired, and I was like, oh, we'll get lattes, but I got ice cream. As soon as I saw they had green tea ice cream, I was like, And then Mandy had really been craving plant-based burgers, so we went to a plant-based burger place. And then we did this impulsive thing to go to the spa, the Korean spa, and it was such an adventure, and it was so funny. And we loved it. And then, like I said, the next day we slept in. At least I slept in. I feel like Mandy got up early. She has like, I love what a dreamer she is. She's just always like dreaming about her future and things she wants to do. And she was like kind of documenting them in a little notebook. And so she was doing some of that. She's also been taking some online courses. She's kind of an unstoppable human. And then, we went to Chicago on Sunday, and then she found this amazing Italian restaurant that had gluten-free ravioli, which I never get to have. It's so good. And then we took the Staten Island ferry, which I'd taken before, but I'd never taken it at night. We got some mango from a street vendor. So we were like eating mango and watching the Statue of Liberty all lit up at night. So so we did a lot of fun stuff, but honestly, I could have just like sat in a room with Mandy for 3 days and had this like blissful time, because she's just, she's always been a really powerful light in my life. And I didn't realize how much I'd miss just spending time with her. So yeah, that was a real treat. It was just, and I'm learning because, so this week I'm just like in the studio all the time. And yesterday was rough because I've had a migraine for 2 days. I think I've been dehydrated because I've been getting these weird migraines, but they've been shifting on and off from pain to dizziness. And the dizziness is the worst because I just like can't get my bearings and I feel like I'm like drunk or something. So yesterday was and I was like walking to the studio and they were doing construction and I got some kind of concrete or something in my eye and it was brutal. So yesterday was kind of a rough day. I still managed to get a lot of stuff done, but it was rough. I was like dizzy and I couldn't see, and yeah. But what I'm learning is like, if I hadn't had all these amazing people visit me, I think I just sort of like been head down in the studio most of the time. Like the residency field trips and my friends coming and family coming, I don't know. It's like, I think I need to make sure that I'm really planning social things when I get home, because this balance of like living and enjoying life and really soaking up amazing people and seeing things through their eyes and then going into the studio, like that balance has been like so filling and so nice. Like, yeah, I didn't expect. I just realized I've had my white noise machine on the whole time. If you hear weird ocean sounds. So yeah, I feel like at home, I just like go to work and then I go home and make stuff. And then every blue moon, I like see my friends. And I think I've had that backwards. Like, I think I really need to like budget and prioritize people more. I mean, it's so funny because people are the most important thing to me, but it's just like being an adult is so hard and getting everything done is so hard. And I just feel like sometimes that unfortunately falls low on my list. And I think I want to like restructure things when I get home. And I really, because yeah, it's like, yeah, I could have worked all weekend, but I felt energized going into the studio because I was so like emotionally fulfilled, being inspired by and caring and enjoying time with like a dear friend. So yeah, so I just took a shower. I slept in, like I didn't set an alarm. I slept in because I had these like crazy migraines all day. And I was like, I like chugged a bunch of water and slept in. And today, so far, I don't have a migraine, fingers crossed. And I'm going to go. So my strategy this week, because I don't have time to like pack or go to the store, is I've just been like going to a restaurant and buying like a big portion of food and then eating it all day. So yesterday I got this like weird gluten-free curry thing. And today I think I'm going to go to Chipotle, just get like a big bowl, and I'll try to eat some for lunch and some for dinner. I think I'm also going to get a coffee. And I'm also going to go to Target. These are all right next to each other. I'm going to go to Target and get some eye drops just in case I have an eye emergency, because that was a whole weird thing. And then I'm going to be in the studio probably till like 1 a.m. So, and it's like 1 right now. It's probably like 12:30. So here we go. So after many sleepless nights and hauling a ladder all across town, we're about to have this show today. It's good. It's good. It looks like the sketch, and it's going to be a fun day. Okay. The last week or so has been so nonstop. I honestly don't even know where I left off last time. So last week was kind of a blur because I was preparing for my show at Governor's Island with Anissa. And in true Lindsay form, I was down to the wire. Like, basically how I tackled this summer was, when people weren't here, I was working really hard in the studio, and when they were here, I would go out and have fun and like fill my tank. And then when I would go to the studio and pull crazy hours, I would just feel like really refreshed. And like, so basically, like, I knew hanging out with Mandy meant I was probably gonna have to pull an all-nighter to get all the work done, but I would do it all over again because it was so worth it, because I had like this great weekend and I just felt really like fulfilled and ready to work. So yeah, I really want to make like seeing people and spending time with people a priority when I come back. I need to sit down and make that list, like all the best insights I got from the summer and what I want to like carry on into my life. So when I got back, it was just like I literally like I didn't get back when Mandy left. It was like from Monday to Thursday, I just literally worked around the clock, and then Wednesday I just like bought a ton of food and brought it with me so that I had, because that was like the main dilemma at the studio, is like there isn't a lot of restaurants around there, and so if you get like hungry, it's like, and it's distracting when you're hungry. It's like hard to work. So I brought all this food, and I literally worked like from Wednesday afternoon until I had to take the work to Governor's Island on Thursday afternoon. And I didn't even eat that much of the food, because when I pull all-nighters, eating makes me sleepy. So I just would kind of pick at things. So it was just funny that I brought all this food, but I didn't really eat it. The all-nighter was awful. It's just that the studio is not air-conditioned. It wasn't even that I wasn't sleeping. It was that I think I literally got heat stroke. Like my face was like the color of an apple, and my skin got like prickly. like it didn't feel like my skin. It was like everything felt prickly, like even like soft stuff. It was really odd, and it was just like this level of like sweat and heat that I just can't even explain. And I did take like an hour nap. I brought a teddy bear with me to use as a pillow, which is also a teddy bear Clint gave me, so I thought it would also feel comforting. So I laid on this like uncomfortable hardwood floor, like sweating. I had this tiny little fan on my face, and I probably took like an hour or two nap, which I think my studio neighbors probably really appreciated, because when I'm sewing for a deadline, it's just like sounds like a machine gun or something. Like I just don't stop sewing. So I got it to a point that I didn't need the sewing machine. Like it wasn't done, but it was that it could be transported. And then I realized I thought I could just carry a bunch of not heavy, but a bunch of IKEA bags to the island. But once I got it all together, it was like 7 bags, and one of them was quite heavy. So I reached out to the residency, and I was like, is there any chance like one of the interns could come or something? And they sent 2, Gabriel and Anna. And it was so funny. Like I should have been miserable because I hadn't slept in like 2 days or something. And actually, it was like a lovely afternoon. Like we took a different ferry. We walked through Brooklyn and took the Brooklyn ferry instead of the Manhattan ferry. And we of course, went really close to the Statue of Liberty. Me and the Statue of Liberty hung out a lot this summer. And we carried the stuff to the island, and we chatted a little bit and then dropped it off. And I was just so grateful to them, because I could not have done it without them. And they were happy because they just liked getting out of the office and doing something different than stare at a computer and stuff like that. So that was kind of cute. Then in the morning, Clint came, so then I went back to my studio after that, and I made a projector cover, and I made like a blanket to put my merch on. And then I went home and did laundry, and I literally fell asleep at the laundromat. Like I was and I think they thought I was nuts. And it was like right before they closed, and I think they were like, are we going to have to like wake up this sleeping woman in the laundromat? And like, yeah, it was funny. But my sheets, I just didn't want Clint to have to stay here. I'm like, I've been sweating so much because it's just unbearably hot here, and I just wanted him to sleep on fresh sheets. So my bedroom was trashed because it's just been so busy, but at least there was clean sheets. So in the morning, so I did sleep finally after like more than 2 days of not sleeping. And then in the morning I got up and got Clint at the airport. So I had to meet him at the airport at 8, so I had to leave at like 6:15. And we got some Starbucks, and then we came here, we dropped off his bag, and we took a lift to the hardware store, and we rented a ladder. And we were also carrying a projector. We carried this heavy 10-foot ladder. Okay. Clint and I trying to take this giant ladder. We have to walk 13 minutes to the train station. This ladder is so heavy. Ladder, like literally across New York, onto a ferry, and then to Governor's Island. It was like, I am ridiculous. Now Clint and I are about to take this ladder on a ferry. I keep telling all my friends, I'm like, next time I tell you I want to carry a 10-foot ladder across New York City, you have to talk me out of it. Because once I set my sights on what I want to do, I just like will stop at nothing until that idea exists. It's a little insane.
I'm taking a video.
So then we went to, and Clint didn't sleep at all before the flight. He had to flip the B&B and prep the cats, and he had to do like a million things before he left. And so he didn't sleep at all because he had to be at the airport
The
by
ladder
like 5
made at.
to catch a 6 a.m. Or no, I think he had to be at the airport by 4:30 to catch a 6 a.m. flight. So Clint was underslept. I had slept one night after not having slept 2 nights. We carried this heavy, uncomfortable ladder on a subway. You know, we got there, and then we were just like installing like crazy. And 2 RU people were helping, which was amazing, Lulu and Sylvia. And then my family came. They flew into Newark, and they came. So my parents and sisters were helping. My dad and sisters ultimately went back to the hotel and to sleep because they were tired, but my mom stayed until the very end. And then Anissa, my roommate, she started helping, which was like, she was just a little angel that like swooped in when the RU interns were leaving. And I think I scared everybody because there was still a lot to do when everybody left at like 6 p.m. in the island. It's an island. So the ferry was leaving the last ferry was at like 10:30 or something. And it was getting dark and there weren't a lot of lights. And so it was making people nervous. But they didn't know that Clint and I don't stop until our installs are up. So we did get it up, and then we had to stop at my studio. So we took the ferry, we stopped at my studio, we got some more stuff, we went home, we passed out, and then we probably got up at 6 or 7 the next day because I wanted to be at the island by 9 because I wanted to troubleshoot a projector and stick a bunch of flags in the ground. And so it was a great day. I got to meet with a lot of people, and one of my shape languages with Pones and Kimpopa are a series of performance prompts. So I would get people to do some of these performance prompts with the mini flags.
And you wave it in a circle. All 3 of you. Can you wave it in a circle? Okay. Can you wave it in a level way?
What is that?
You got to interpret it in a level way. Yes. Can you wave it in a balanced way? Can you include an explosion in your wave? Now this one I can only do because you're a group. Can you wave yours in a connected way? All right, can you have an exit with your wave? Oh.
There was just like a lot of engagement, which was exciting for me. And a lot of people were very positive about it. So I think overall it was a good day. I did lose my voice, if you can't tell. At Governor's Island, it was amazing that my friend Grace was able to come back, and she took pictures, and literally Grace's pictures are like, you can't even dream of pictures that good. Like they're just, I always say she uses her camera to make paintings because her sense of color and light and composition. I love seeing my work through her eyes. Like it like, I'm like blown away. And she edited them in like a day, and they're just perfect. They're amazing. And then we had to, at 6 o'clock, we cut it all down, bagged it all up, and then my family and Clint and I took these 6 or 7 IKEA bags to my apartment on the train. It was so cute. My family's really sweet. I feel like they don't always understand me or my work, but they always show up and they always help. It's very sweet. And then the next day, Clint and I went to the Brooklyn Flea Market with my family, and then they went to Manhattan, and Clint and I went back to Governor's Island to take that ladder back to Home Depot. But this time we smartened up, and we used a bunch of ropes to make straps and stuff so that we could more easily carry it. So still really heavy and really awkward to carry on public transportation, but we were a little bit better this time. But yeah, we were like, every part of our bodies hurt by the end of that day. So we met my parents at St. Pat's Cathedral at 5:30, and then we got some dinner, and then we went to Times Square, and then Clint and I went to go see Thor, which I've been waiting to see all summer. And it was really good. Had like really good teamwork. They like turned children into superheroes, which, sorry if that's a spoiler, but that was really exciting for me because I feel like children are often kind of dismissed, and it was cool that he turned them into a super team. So so Clint and I saw a movie in Times Square, and let me see if I can remember the rest because it was so blurry. So then we just did so much in like a week. So then the next day, I had a meeting at RU. I had two meetings, 2 days in a row, and they were both really good. I'm really glad that I ended on they were just really optimistic and positive, and I'm glad that that's where it felt like ending on a high note. So I went to RU with Clint. Clint just worked in the lobby while I had my meetings, and then we went and met my family at the World Trade Center Memorial, and then we kind of hung out at the Oculus for a little bit, and we had to go to the hardware store so I could get some stuff to prepare my studio space to leave, which I'm leaving tomorrow. I mean, I'm leaving the studio tomorrow. I'm not leaving New York till 3 days. And then we went to sing karaoke in K-Town, and if you had asked me, I just never thought I'd see the day that I'd see my parents karaoke. It was pretty hilarious, but it was so much fun. It was silly, and all five of us were just singing songs. We would try to order songs for everybody, and we were like eating snacks. It was ridiculously fun. I feel like I'm gonna remember it like forever, just seeing my parents be silly and sing karaoke. So then the next day, I had another meeting at RU, and like I said, that was my last one, but it really felt like ending on a high note. And then we raced back. We took a lift to my studio so I could get some wall paint from my studio manager, and I had to grab some things for my family. And then we went to the Color Factory, which, like, I knew it was just like a thing that people could use for their Instagram, but it was like so much fun. It was like an adult playroom or something. Like, it just gave everybody permission to like play, be curious, and eat desserts and interact with color. And there was like a ball pit. My dad slid down a slide into a ball pit. Like, literally, this is another thing that I never thought I'd see happen. It was a ridiculous amount of fun. And then we took a train to Coney Island, and we ate dinner. I played putt-putt with my sisters and Clint, and I won. I got a hole in one. And then Clint and I went home. My parents went back to their hotel. And the next day, I had to get everybody to their airports. My family and Clint had to go home, which is a bummer, but I know I'm going to see them next week. So I just, you love your family, you love your spouse, and, But, yeah, I was so grateful that my family came in, that we just got to be silly for a few days. It's just not, we don't often have that luxury, and it was just a lot of good memories. So then yesterday, I was dead exhausted. So yesterday when I got everybody to the airport, and then I went to the studio and I started breaking down my studio. And although I took some of the stickers I'd put on the wall, and Clint and I were sticking them to some Mylar this week, and I love how it's like, instead of throwing it away, I'm like, what else can this be? I feel like that's often how I approach being an artist. Like, what else can this become? I thought that was kind of cool. So I was there and then I also was altering some baby onesies for my friend who needs them for his son. And I had to do that before I packed my sewing machine. So I was there till like 1. My regular train wasn't working, so I had to take a lift, which was annoying. So I got back at like 2. I slept in this morning because I was just so tired. And I've been packing my room a little bit. And now I'm going to head to the studio for a couple hours. I'm going to go to a program at RU and then go back to the studio until I get it all packed and cleaned up. And then my friend Jamie, is coming in the morning, and she's going to pick me up in her Uber, and we're going to go straight to the truck place, drive straight to the studio, and hopefully load everything up quickly. And then we're going to spend hours looking for a parking spot. And then we're going to go see Harry Potter on Broadway, which should be, we used to love Harry Potter when we were young, so that'll be really fun. And then Saturday, we're going to load up the apartment into the truck. Hopefully I'll get to move it closer. That's the plan, at least. And then I'm hoping Jamie and I will get to go to Coney one last time. I take everybody to Coney because it's my favorite place. But this is that Jamie and I both love circuses, and I really want her to see the freak show at Coney Island. So hopefully we'll get to do that. And then we're shooting to leave Sunday. We're going to stop in Philadelphia and get lunch with my friend Chris and go to the Duchamp exhibition at the Philadelphia Museum. And then Jamie and I'll drive some more and spend the night somewhere. And then we're going to hopefully be back in Cincy by Monday. So it's been crazy. So yeah, I hope at some point to record about my insights, because I think that's important for me to have record of that, because I think it's definitely been a really transformative summer. So